Hello everyone, Mr. Quality Guy here, and today we're going to do another video on Six Sigma. But this time we're going to look at some pros and cons with Six Sigma, and we're going to look into uh, some of the issues with Six Sigma. So, all in all, Six Sigma is just a tool set. There's nothing bad or good about it, but there are some things that are not ideal. And we're going to look at some criticisms and basically uh, break them down a little bit and to understand, is Six Sigma right for you. And I'm going to be straight up honest with you, Six Sigma should not be used for everything. It is there are a lot of stuff that people try to use Six Sigma for that is not proper. um, it's just a tool, but you can be over reliant on a tool and you can definitely misuse them. So one of the main things is the lack of originality. Quality expert Joseph M. Duran describes Six Sigma as a basic version of quality improvement, and that is true. It's a simplified version. Uh, the only thing is they've adopted flamboyant terms. But the thing is, the American Society of Quality have already done this years ago by developing certificates such as reliability engineers and stuff like that. And American Society for Quality has a longer track record and a better history. That's one biggest gripe with Six Sigma, is that you have your white belt, your yellow belt, your green belt, your black belt. They all seem a little scammy and hokey. If they were to rename them, I think that would be a huge benefit to reduce the perceived scamness of them. Uh, then you have potential negative effects. Now, this one is really interesting. So, when I went to look through the site sources, I realized that there was something a little weird. A Fortune article stated that 58% of large companies that announce Six Sigma projects, 91 have trailed the S&P. But the statement is attributed to an analysis by Charles Holland of the consulting firm Qualpro. Now, Qualpro, at the time of this article, had a competing quality improvement process, so we must take that with a grain of salt. But Qualpro now offers Six Sigma training now. They don't do their own process anymore. So why is that? Well, obviously there must be some merit to Six Sigma, and their system obviously didn't work. Yet again, Six Sigma does what it's supposed to do. The problem is fixing existing process. Sometimes Six Sigma's not really good at that. Sometimes you need to look at other methods. Mainly, it starts with your define issue. If you don't define your issue properly, then your rest of your order and your Six Sigma is not going to be correct. So if that's why you need to use a 5Y in the define stage. So that way you can understand the root cause. That way you're not treating a symptom, you're treating the cause of that symptom. That is something that tends to be gotten wrong a lot. And a lot of it is because the people that do Six Sigma, they think they know everything. When in reality, the more than likely the person that knows what the problem is someone out on the floor. In a facility, they are more than likely going to tell you what's wrong, what needs to be fixed. But do we listen to them? Most of the time, no. And that's the problem, is we need to listen to the people that work with these processes every day, because they're the ones that really understand what's going on. They're the ones that know the problems. They're the ones that have to break these processes because the process doesn't work to begin with. So that's the main focus, is we need to look into those. Over-reliance of statistics, yeah, that's not it is an over-reliance. But in some cases, that's not bad. Especially when you're trying to do SPC. And using over-reliance of statistics can sometimes tell you if something's going to go wrong. For example, at one place I worked with, we did tracking, and we could tell when a lot changed based on the shift in the SPC points that were coming out of it. We could tell that, oh, yep, hey, they changed lots. So that kind of also helped us narrow down that, okay, in case if we have an issue, we can sit there and go, okay, around here, that it kind of helps us narrow down where the issue may have started. So, let's talk about the great things about Six Sigma. Six Sigma is, in reality, a simplified, step-by-step quality system. However, just because it's simplified doesn't mean it's not good. But just because it shouldn't be used for everything. In reality, I can really only see Six Sigma used in manufacturing. Any other industry, I don't believe it should be there. It's really for manufacturing. Like the healthcare industry really should not use it. Science and industry really shouldn't use it because it's not going to, it is very restrictive in some sense. But when you're running an assembly line, you're going to run these same parts for 5 years. Yes, you're not trying to innovate all that much. You're just trying to slightly improve every time. You're not trying to make wild changes. Then we go to basically another thing is that the Six Sigma doesn't go far enough when it comes to defects every time. No, that's going to depend on the industry in reality. For automotive, yeah, it will go far enough. But when you're talking about semiconductors where they're making millions upon millions, when you're at Six Sigma at 1 million, you're finding 3.4 defects per million. Now that's really not that much. But the question is that, okay, if I find 3.4 million defects or 3.4 defects, how many are actually getting to my customer? Well, if my quality system is robust and catches these defects, and as long as I'm within my long-term and short-term PPK, they shouldn't get any. But if we go to like a 7 Sigma level, instead of 3.4, we'll have at 0.019 defects per million, and that's really where things kind of improve. So the idea of defects per million is not really is not necessarily a bad thing. That's mainly more or less how many are potentially escaping. But if we're capturing those and we have a robust quality system that catches those defects, then we shouldn't have to worry. And that's where you have your short-term and long-term PPK. That's why most people want a 1.67 PPK, because you will be within, your parts will stay within their own tolerance by 1.67. So you should, in an ideal world, that part will never go out of tolerance if you maintain that PPK level. So that's a video on, some of the pros and cons of Six Sigma. Yet again, it's something that should be taken with a grain of salt. Six Sigma is not the end-all be-all. There are other processes that you should use in conjunction with Six Sigma. You shouldn't just rely on one. It's just like if you're a carpenter, you're not going to bring one battery for your drill. You're going to bring multiple batteries because, you need multiple tools in the box. It's going to be hard to probably build a house with just a screwdriver. You need multiple tools. It's hard to maintain a quality system. You need multiple tools to keep them going. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.